What's the most satisfying tables turn moment you've witnessed in court? My landlord tried evicting me for late rent that I'd actually paid 3 months early. He stood there in his expensive suit telling the judge I was a deadbeat tenant who hadn't paid in months. I sat there with my folder of receipts watching him lie through his teeth. This guy owned like 40 properties around town, always drove his Mercedes to collect rent in person, made a big show of counting the cash in front of everyone. But he had this habit of never giving proper receipts, just scribbled notes on random paper scraps. When the judge asked for evidence, I pulled out my bank statements. Every month for 2 years, I'd withdrawn exactly $1,200 in cash. Same day, every month. The withdrawals lined up perfectly with when he claimed I hadn't paid, but that wasn't enough. Cash transactions don't prove who got the money. My landlord smirked at me from across the courtroom. He knew it was my word against his. Started telling the judge how I was always making excuses, how I'd promised to pay but never followed through, even threw in some lies about noise complaints that never happened. Then, he made his big mistake. He pulled out this leather ledger book to show his meticulous records, flipped through pages of handwritten entries showing all his properties and payments received, pointed to the blank spaces next to my apartment number. See, Your Honor, no payments recorded for 3 months. That's when I pulled out my phone. See, I'd started recording our interactions after he tried keeping my security deposit at my last place. Every month when he came to collect rent, I'd secretly film him counting the money and putting it in his pocket. 3 months of crystal clear video showing him taking my cash and laughing about not giving receipts. The judge asked to see the videos. First one showed my landlord counting $1,200 bills at my kitchen table. Clear as day, he says, "Another month, another payment for my favorite tenant." Second video, he's joking about how the IRS doesn't need to know about cash payments. Third video, he literally says, "Receipts are for suckers who pay taxes." His lawyer started whispering frantically in his ear. The judge's face got redder with each video, but the best part was still coming. After watching all 3 videos, the judge asked my landlord to explain the discrepancies in his ledger. My landlord stuttered something about maybe forgetting to write them down, said his memory wasn't perfect, claimed the videos must be fake or edited somehow. His voice got higher and more desperate with each excuse. The judge asked to see his ledger again, started flipping through previous years, page after page of cash payments from dozens of tenants. None of it reported properly. The tax implications were staggering. The judge asked if he'd been reporting this rental income. My landlord went completely white. The courtroom got so quiet you could hear the air, conditioning humming. The judge started calculating out loud. 40 properties averaging $1,000 monthly rent. That's $480,000 annually in unreported income for multiple years. My landlord's lawyer actually stepped away from him at the defense table. Not only did the judge dismiss the eviction, he referred the entire case to the IRS for tax fraud investigation, ordered my landlord to provide 3 years of financial records within 30 days, then added that any retaliation against me would result in additional criminal charges. But the judge wasn't done. He issued an emergency order freezing the eviction proceedings for all 40 properties until a full audit was completed. Every tenant in that courtroom started pulling out their phones to record what was happening. My landlord had to sit there and watch his entire empire start crumbling. 6 months later, he lost 35 of his 40 properties to pay back taxes and penalties. The IRS calculated he owed over $2 million in unpaid taxes. He went from driving a Mercedes to taking the bus, all because he got greedy trying to evict someone who actually paid their rent.